Welcome back to Family Gamer TV. Now, we've been with the Hunts, and we've been looking at the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Vita. So you were saying earlier that's not something you've used before.
No, not come across it at all. Obviously, the boys play PlayStation 3 quite a lot, so quite interested to see how the new stuff looks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think one of the challenges for Sony is communicating all the different functionality. And if you have both the Vita, the handheld, and the PlayStation 4, you've got a lot of crossover play. So we were trying that. One of the first things we did was using the Vita as a remote screen. Yeah. So you didn't need the TV on. You could just use the Vita and a second controller. So how does that work? What was your impressions?
It was really good fun. So we had to sit kind of quite close together just because the screen was quite small. And Noah had the controller, and we were sort of playing together and looking at the screen together. And it was good for sort of communication. Oh, you come this way and you kill him, or you go behind. And it was really good to kind of be quite close together doing it. You see that, Joe? He's playing with his controller on this screen. Where are we going? Where have you gone? I got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, to watching you play, it felt quite different to be both like gazing at this screen in the distance. Yeah. Suddenly you were huddled on the sofa, you know, sort of crouching around together and talking, sort of half whispering about what you should do next.
Yeah, and I think also it changed the kind of the dynamic of the room in that we could sort of sit together in one place, or we could have gone into another room and not sort of taken over the whole room using that game, I think. Yeah.
So another thing you can do with that is you can take the Vita once you're using it in that way and play in a different room. So there you go, look. So on the screen there is the game that's up there.
Wow.
Which means you don't need the TV on. So can you put your controller down and go and turn the telly off?
So that is clever.
So Noah, you can pick up your controller.
Pick up your controller and press the
and you can join in.
Button to
press
join in.
Probably X.
X, try X. That's you.
And square, so you find.
Do you think that's something, be able to not be focused on the telly and be playing around the house, is that a good thing, or would that represent a challenge? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's quite a good thing. It means I can sit and watch the telly while they're playing on games in another room, which, they can have some time out from the lounge, and it means you've got more rooms in the house to use, I suppose, rather than just having them focused on one room. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a benefit, I think. Yeah,
there seemed to be a novelty of playing it in a screen. Joel, wasn't it, who came in here and played while we were playing in the sitting room, and it seemed like a nice idea.
Yeah, I think when you've got it in your hand and it's what you're controlling and it's there, I think you very much want to use that rather than looking across the room. Definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then the final thing we looked at was on the Vita. You can do that. So we were doing that locally, but you could also do that if you're away, say with grandparents. You can connect via the internet. It would turn on the PlayStation 4 without you being in there. Do that for you over the internet, and then you could stream those games and play them like you were here.
Yeah, I think that's really clever. I've not really come across that before. I think they could definitely do that and use it. And once you kind of set up all the things that you had on your PlayStation, then obviously it gives you a whole load of content that could be accessed remotely from somewhere else. I'm sure as they got on with that, as they grow up with it, they definitely use it more and more. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something I liked, if you use the Play TV feature on the PlayStation, which is like a digibox where you're recording telly, if you've forgotten to record something, you can just use your Vita to log on and set a recording, or you could go on and then you could record something you recorded already. So does that sound good to you, Claire?
Yeah, I think that's a great benefit. I don't know, if you're away on holidays and things like that, you could use it, and away staying at friends and grandparents, and that'd be a really good bonus.
Yeah, I think it's nice the way it takes it beyond just something that's in your home, and you can access that sort of stuff wherever you are. And in a way, you don't need to think about, am I playing it on the portable or is it being streamed? You just are playing your game.
Yeah. Do you know if there's a way that you can put on there, like content like games can be saved onto your PlayStation? Can you do that with things like films? And could you save films onto the device and then access them remotely when you were somewhere else? Can that happen? Yep.
So you can either subscribe to a streaming service like LoveFilm or Netflix or iPlayer, or you can actually buy the films. You can either rent them and it then temporarily downloads it, or you could purchase it and there's the whole video store. Also, you can do that with music. So there's a whole music side of the PlayStation sort of world, and then on any Sony device you can then access that music. And doing it via the Vita would be a way. And you've got such a nice big screen on the Vita. It sort of lends itself to watching films.
Yeah.
If you're on a campsite that had a decent internet connection, you could have movies in the tent.
Yeah. No, I think that's really clever. I can imagine, I can see lots of ways that could be used, definitely. Yeah.
Cool, well, thanks a lot. That's all we've got time for today on Family Gamer TV. We'll be back with more soon.